Gemini, how you getting on? So here we are for the last part of August for you. So we are now on today, which is the 14th until the 31st. The 14th and 31st. So pretty much it's caught up with in 7 days time. We've caught up with that one, and now we are now going from the 14th to the 31st. Okay, and then I can get on with the rest of September and do September's. But there's a bit of an announcement at the end. A lot of you have probably already seen it, but let's see. So Gemini, something right, and I will say, okay, I've got to say this because through the Scorpio reading, I think there was probably nearly 11 to 12,000 views in a couple of days, and I got abused. I got abused. So I got abused in the comment section. Now listen, energy works off what you're putting out. Okay, it literally does. What you put out is what I receive. Is to me, to you, to me, to you. What you put out is what I receive, and what I receive, I'm the receiver of the energy that gives you the message to you. You know, so it's either about you or me or everybody else. But as I'm the conduit, I am the one that's giving the messages. So in order for me to give you the truth and the messages of what it's really about, I have to put my ego aside and actually channel the messages. But that's literally billions and billions of Geminis, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus, and people that have been putting out the energy is what I get back. Cards don't need clearing of the deck of all this kind of hocus pocus stuff. You don't need to clear energy deck. These are paper of cards. They've just got pictures on. It's the conduit that has to be clear. Okay, so clear-minded, clear sentient, clear audient, everything else. Okay, when all that's clear and my energy's clear, I can give you the messages of clearing out my ego to give you the message. Okay, so have you got that? Sorry, Gemini. So, do you know what I'm saying? So as a conduit, it's nothing to do with all this hocus pocus and burning all this stuff over cards and sage and like making everything nice and cat. It's all complete hocus pocus. It doesn't matter. It's the conduit that matters. The channeler, the receiver of the messages to the giver. Giving and receiving, you know, general equality of someone that has equality, but as firm affirmations of giving you the affirmation of what it's really about. Okay, so let's see. So, firm affirmations. You might be looking into firm affirmations, so I will say a lot to that to the end, but we'll see. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Someone around you from the 14th until the 31st. Gemini, August. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. What's going on with Gemini for the rest of August? Because timelines are very important, and I'm going to do a segment on timelines, but that will be done over on the tier 2 of Patreon, of why affirmations are very important, but why the Great Purge is also important. And there's techniques that we can use in order to, you could be doing with a Leo. Okay. So, someone has a plan, a master plan. So, well, you've got a lot of energy, really. This can be someone that's extremely busy. Okay, busy. A busy bee is what I picked up. A busy bee. Bzzz. You might have bees around you. Bees, honey bees. I don't know why. Or honey, sweet honey. Someone sees you as their sweet honey. They're really contemplating on actually sending a message, but they don't know whether to or not. Now, you've got Libra, a Libra that you could be interested in. Okay, or you're actually running from a Libra. Because I want to run to you. So, let's see. You could have a lot to do with a lot of family. A lot of family heritage is what I'm picking up. But you've also got Taurus, Libra. This could be the Leo, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. There is some kind of deceit that could be happening around the workplace for some of you. Some of you could be court decisions and marriages, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of marriage material out there. There's a lot of marriage material out there. There's prospects out there. There's a lot of strong commitments out there. But what is this Seven of Swords, Gemini? Are you dealing with the energy that I've just dealt with, which was Taurus, that had this here? Taurus. So I had the same card here. Someone's being deceitful. But this can either be to or against. But there is some kind of fear that's suppressed in someone's subconscious memory. And that is something that I'm going to do segments on. But subconscious memory of fear of either someone returning or not returning the favour. Now, these can represent anybody because the tense of the present tense of the moment of this is the present tense. If you're present tense, you're tense. That's what you're putting out. That's what you're getting back. This can be anybody. The present tense doesn't have to be tense. You don't have to work for time. Time works for you. Metaphysical law, it's always out there. There's plenty of stuff that happens around time. So there's plenty of stuff that happens in time. It depends on how you're living presently at the present tense of whether it's you or not. If you're extremely tense, what you're putting out is what you're getting back. Okay? So there's a giver and a receiver of energy. So karmically also, you've got a lot of decisions to make. You can be running to an actual Libra and wanting to be with a Libra. Or if people are deceptive and stuff, that's them. If it's the court, well, you know, if there's marriages and people are involved, there's a lot of that, sure. But you might be wanting to make this decision, but what you're doing is you're in contemplating mode of actually waiting on a decision. This is a decision, this is a decision. And there's somebody that could be a go-between for some of you, which is a go-between. It could have to do with a car or travelling or anything like that. But you're waiting for a decision to be made. But you're feeling optimistic about it. But it could be leading to marriage. It could be. It could be a wish. A wish. It could be a desire of someone to feel optimistic that this connection is going to go in someone's favour, because this would be in someone's favour for sure. But if we look into favours, favours is what I'm picking up. Favours and flavours, different flavours. But this could be going out of someone's favour. Now, whoever that is doesn't have to be Libra, but it could be going out of someone's favour. But because you've got someone that's running to a Libra, but also running away from a Taurus, I'm getting mixed energies. So if we relate this as you're in a partnership, okay, with somebody, they're really, 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 really running from making this decision. Because they're married, possible. For some of you, it's because they're married or they're actually in a partnership and relationship already, and it's a pulling and a drain of one's optimism of whether you want to stay optimistic about it, okay? Because this card's here. This card is the leading card. Well, this card's the leading card, which is a decision. So it either goes to court or to trial, or it doesn't, or it goes to karmic law. Some of you could be studying law, or you could be studying something and you're just extremely busy doing so. You could also be very aware, which is social awareness, okay? But what you put out is what you get back. So this could be a lot of suppressed energy from past hurts of betrayal, where people might fear actually approaching you. There might be a fear of approaching someone or someone approaching you. But this person is still searching. The searchers, there's someone still searching for something. Because they're waiting on a message. They're waiting on a delivery service. Now, if this is to do with that you are actually with someone, well, say if you're not with them and you're like in an ex-marriage or an ex-partnership, because there's definitely partnership and marriage here for sure, then you're so fed up with it. You're so fed up with being this go-between where you're constantly waiting for them to come back. Like if you've got children and stuff like that, could be fire sign children or parents or anybody. But you're completely and utterly fed up with this game of waiting, gains and losses. Suddenly I've gained something, but then all of a sudden I've lost something. You know, which is you might just be extremely stressed out the fact that there could be a player in the mix, which would, you know, it doesn't have to be, but, you know, because it goes to like parent-child, co-parenting and child, co-parenting and mothering, but getting extremely worn out yourselves by keep co-parenting, like wanting the decision going to work. Maybe you might work for law enforcement or the law or anything like that. I'm picking up law for some of you, like law-abiding citizens. Like you're a law-abiding citizen, but someone's trying to get away with something. Like they're not owning up to money that they have to pay out. They're not owning up to child support, maybe. They're not owning up to paperwork that they might have hidden. They're not owning up to the messages that might have been sent out, that they're trying to hide the fact that they probably sent out a message and that it was received it's kind of like someone's also hesitating on actually sending a message out or receiving a message. There's some fear about messages is what I'm really picking up. But there's also a lot to do with a go-between where there's travelling backwards and forwards from one person to another person. There's like a giver and a receiver of energy that's pulling someone's optimism. Because I'm really picking up the fact that some of them are already in some kind of relationship or partnership, that they're already in one. Now, if you are married to them, then this is just the fact that this is just a working relationship, partnership, that you're co-parenting, or you're the go-between of like work and finances and all that sort of stuff, and it's stressful being a mother or father. This could be someone that is interfering with like the relationship. It could be like a mother or like a father figure that could be the one that is the one that makes the decision on this marriage. Because these can all be courts. A lot of this, I think, is going to court for a lot of you. There's a lot of court proceedings is what I'm picking up. Like journalism, but trying to sort out paperwork and trying to get all things in order. And I just heard, what do you call it when you want someone to come and like visit you and stay in your country? There's, what do you call it? A green card or a citizenship, right? Citizenship. Someone wants someone to have citizenship and the courts, but someone's real worried about something that they might not have owned up to in their past that they have to admit for that to like start to work. But it might be the fact that they're having to like, they're worried that they might have to leave their work or they might get called to work. This can also be about taxes and money and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of strong foundation of like independence of working for oneself also. You know, being independent and optimistic about projects and desire and knowing that one is stable also. For and ready, like for and ready. This is someone that's for and against, but like for and actually ready for a relationship. Ready for a relationship. Because it's kind of a little bit like, well, if you're gone, you're gone. Because I'm getting fed up with waiting on this decision. Or I'm getting fed up with waiting. So I'm going to look this direction here to actually go into a commitment. You've got a lot of leading, leading is what I keep picking up, leading, being led astray. Wow, wow. Someone's being led astray for some people, led astray. Prey is what I picked up, prey, praying mantis. I don't know why I picked that up, but wow. Communication, travelling, a lot to do with paperwork. Someone likes singing, sending music, sending music or listening to music has got a newfound freedom. This is where energy is really freed up. This is where the universe is really saying that you're listening. You've got 11, which is like 11-11. You know, so you're in alignment with your assignment, really, of what you're assigned to do spiritually, for sure. But it's like still standing. I'm still standing after all this time. Still standing after all this time. You're still going forward fearlessly. Because it's like probably a Piscean energy or an air energy. There might be secrets around certain things to do with court, because this would relate to two. So it could be the High Priestess. It obviously like the Two of Swords, which is something here that needs leaving. But you see, it also talks about loss and gain. It can be a very lucky number. because you're waiting for something to actually come in. Some of you could well be interested in a Libra, and that what you're running from is the past. And it could be a fire sign or Taurus. But a lot of you could have this in your chart placement. But there's definitely coursing, horses for courses, courses. But I've really, it's very, to be honest, it's very difficult to channel any messages when you get strong leading cards of like, when they're not minor arcana. Because there's meaning to them, there's a deeper meaning. Because major arcana cards basically mean like a major event of a circumstance that will happen, you know, because it's kind of destiny in a way. That's why they're major arcana cards, because they're major things that are in one's life that is presently here that's going to happen, you know. You can't avoid it, it's there. There's an avoidance but a non-avoidance. Someone's trying to swing a curveball also, like trying to avoid something. Or someone's trying to avoid you. There's somebody that might like to cause a scene, because this is like a scene of the crime, but it's like a crime scene is what I'm picking up also. So some of you could be investigating, like a crime scene investigator, but like doing it for the law kind of thing. Crime scene investigator, investigating crime scenes or something, or interested in doing that, or some kind of investigation of study, like studying a law degree, or studying mimicking, but studying something of obviously higher knowledge. There's a lot of higher knowledge that's being learned, whatever it is. A lot of you could have children that are going to college, and that you're wanting obviously to save and stuff like that to see them on their way. But there's definitely some kind of degree that somebody wants to know or learn about degrees, like a degree of something. Higher knowledge. This can either be spiritual, or this can be something that someone's going to learn that's going to give them great prospects for the future here. Great prospects for the future. Because they're feeling very optimistic about it. They're putting passion into it. Optimism is about feeling optimistic about what you're putting out is what you're getting back, and what you're getting back is a strong foundation in whatever it is that you're learning or wanting to learn, or what you're doing, because it's being seen by karmic law. This is also karmic law, very much so, and so is this. So they're listening, which is like spirit. So listening, karmic law is listening, they're watching. You know, you could have a Taurus that's watching you, or a Aries, Leo, Sagittarius that's watching you. Because it would definitely be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius that's watching, like a Taurus as well. But you might have this in your chart and they're watching. Because there's a lot of like occult stuff. There's a lot of like the Akashic records and stuff is like the Queen of Wands. But it's great optimism of standing like where you've made a decision and you've set good foundation in the decision that you've made, and you're adding passion to something, a project that you really want to learn. And what Spirit is also saying to you is, yes, it's like it's there for you to either learn something or teach something or say something also. This is like public announcement and public speaking. Public announcement. So I'll give you my public announcement in a minute. Gemini. Public announcement. Someone probably wants to marry you. But if you're saying, well, no, I don't want to get married, I think someone wants to marry you, Gemini. I really do. And I think you're now turned the tide where you're now got the upper hand. I mean, hopefully it's not playing a game. It's you know, law is different kinds of law, degrees of law. You know, you've got the written law of here, of the present tense here, but time is linear, so it always goes around. So everything that goes around is all linear in the air, ready for you to have. You know. So you already have it. So you've already got it in the bag, is what I've heard, Gemini. It's like you've already got it in the bag. It's already there. It could be like a gift also, waiting on the gift, and then here it comes. It's like an arrival. It arrives here, there, waiting on it, and then all of a sudden it arrives. That can be communication that you either one like or don't like, but we don't know because we've not really clarified things. But it could be waiting for the arrival of some kind of energy to come in, and it's there. It comes in. The news comes in about something. Intriguing, dear Watson. What's that news coming in? There's news about something. The news that someone could be getting married that you know. Someone that you know has probably got married or can get married or is married. And that might be just news that you hear of a family member that might just got married or has gone into a relationship with someone. It might be a child maybe, or a parent or co-parenting. Yeah, because I am the conduit to loads of people, I just pick up on it's general. It's general. But there is a lot of general energy around, like genuine energy around. But there's also this Seven of Swords. So whatever that is, we're going to have to find out. So it'll lead me to where we will continue on, but there's 2 tiers now over on Patreon. It's still Vimeo if you want to watch the rest of this on Vimeo, okay? I'll draw another card here and then we'll clarify all these, what there is, and it'll be quite a long reading. But that'll give me more of an option of telling you what it is, what it's really about and what's going to happen. But there's 2 tiers now over on Patreon. Patreon now has still the first tier where you get all the extended readings and everything as usual, but now tier 2 is just a tiny little bit more expensive, not a lot. But over there, I think I've added like 13 or 14 videos, and they're probably about an hour long, and it's to do with metaphysics, physical law, law of attraction, twin flames, soulmates, triggering, loads of stuff that I was teaching. It is all over there. Mind expansion videos, stuff for the plate, clairaudient, clairvoyant, how we're going to learn to channel all those kind of messages, stories that I've involved around cards, feelings, emotions, all that kind of stuff. It's all there. Physics, quantum physics, metaphysical law, it's all there, and it will be there. There'll be more that's added, and that's the stuff that I really want to do. That's part of tier 2. So if you want tier 2, you still get tier 1. All the videos from tier 1 still get added into tier 2. So pretty much, if you become a tier 2 member, you still get all what you would in the first one, but you also get all those videos as well. You get everything with tier 2. If you want a personal reading, okay, there is a link in the description. If you want to send me an email, I can hook you up with a reading, personal reading, and it will really pertain to your circumstance. And there's loads of different options that I do with those now. I can either talk via Skype, or we can do it like as a recorded reading, or whatever you like. Okay, but I think that's generally it. So Patreon or Vimeo. It will be on Vimeo. It'll be in the bi-weekly folder for the rest of this reading. But I'm hoping that people are going to join Patreon because I've got loads of projects that I want to come up. But there's loads of stuff there for people to actually watch. And when I'm teaching stuff, I teach it in a different way. I use implements of where I also channel through like cups and plates and stuff like that. And I explain things about conditioning and people's minds and stuff, and it goes in deep into kind of things, and we use cups and plates and all sorts of stuff. So we start teaching different things, but they are all over there if you want to join tier 2. But if not, this will just be in tier 1 for people if that's where you are. Okay, Gemini, let's see what's going to happen with the rest of this and see what this really is about. Let's see what this Seven of Swords is about, this marriage is about for some of you. But let's see. Okay, guys, I'll catch you soon. Peace.